And this shit crazy how this shit go. Like I know they gon' hate me for being real, but I know they gon' love me for making it through.
Patience happens, but you have to have impatience. Like you want to get there tomorrow. And that's how you improve faster than everybody else. You gotta be like, no, I want to get better now. I'm gonna be the best now. Get to where you want to go, man. Just sitting back, just waiting ain't gonna do it.
What's going on with it, clan? We back at it again with another conversation. And today I want to share my perspective on that Kobe clip I just shared with you guys. First things first, I feel like Kobe is the ultimate competitor when it comes to business. He's one of the people that we probably don't really understand how great he was business-wise. Just because we mainly see him on the court and it's mostly basketball related. But when you really dive in, he was really an intellectual person when it come to like just everything, man. He really would like study the game and dive into it. And so business was one of the things that now that after basketball, he had a lot of hands on a lot of different things. But let's just get straight to it. First things first, patience versus being impatient. That's deep because I look at myself and I say to myself all the time, like, whatever we about to do, let's get it done. You know, if we commit to something, let's go all the way in. Let's not, procrastinate. Let's just go ahead and start carving at it. And so a lot of times, and amongst that, though, you got to understand results take time. And so I love how he explained the difference between patience versus impatient, because you got to, like, sometimes you could tell yourself, well, it's going to happen, but it's not going to happen if you don't go out and put the work in. And I think that's the biggest misconception, is that after the pandemic, I noticed this, that when I go over family like Thanksgiving and Christmas, we just visit family. And the sentiment in the air is that I want to be rich. I don't really want to work, but I want these things to manifest. And when I hear that and when I see that, it just solidifies to me that we really living in a different time, and that we getting lost from the main things. It's like the understanding is getting misconstrued on like what it takes to be successful. Like, everybody wants to be a millionaire, but to be honest with you, to be a millionaire takes a lot of sacrifice. You're going to sacrifice time. You're going to sacrifice maybe relationships. And not even in a bad way. I'm saying, like, when you really trying to take yourself to the next level, you won't have a lot of social time because you're focused on the goal. And so often, a lot of times, people will say, well, dang, you ain't got time, or you acting brand new. But it's like, no, this is what it's going to take to be successful. Like, you think about the people that make it to the NBA, right? A lot of those athletes, the beginning, probably from the age, I want to say probably like depending on when they started playing basketball or football, but majority of the time between the ages of like, I want to say 11 or 12, they're dedicating their life to be better than the average so they can make it to this thing called the NBA or the NFL. And so during that time, you notice like the ones that really, really make it, they didn't really have a social life. They didn't really have a childhood. But on the flip side of that, now they gained what they wanted out of life. And that was to make it to maybe the NBA or the NFL or whatever the case may be. And I think that mindset is like dwindling out when it comes to like this human anatomy. Like when you become an entrepreneur, it's a lot of learning at first. You know what I'm saying? Because this is your first time doing it. So when I talk about you got to make these sacrifices, because only way you learn anything is if you dedicate yourself. And I think Kobe is the best example of that. Is that when Kobe first came to the league, granted, he did what he had to do to get to the league. But when Kobe first came to the league, people always forget Kobe wasn't Kobe. The Kobe that we all love and know to today. he wasn't at that level yet. Kobe airballed. He was came off the bench some games. He just didn't become to be the superstar to later on, not even that much later, but later on into his career. Same with Jordan. And you really dive in and you see like what it took for him to be the Kobe that we love. Kobe didn't really have a big social life. You feel me? Like, I'm pretty sure he had spent time with his kids and stuff after the games and stuff. But as far as like kicking it and playing PlayStation with the homies, he knew that he wanted his legacy to be bigger than all that shit. Yes, you got to have patience, because anything that you're doing, you got to understand that it's the frequency that you put into it is what's going to allow it to come back. And often, a lot of times, we all have certain gifts that allow us to be a little bit further than others when we first start off. But the duality is that we can all learn these skill sets that others might have that we don't have, that might take a little bit more time. But if you're patient enough and you really working at it and you sacrificing that extra time, it's just like working out. Like, if you go to the gym 3 times a week, you're going to develop muscle. But if you go to the gym, let's say 7 times a week, we know your body's going to develop way faster, just because the work that you putting in is more efficient. It's more consistency. And I think that's what Kobe was saying, and being patient with your legacy, man. You know why? Because at the end of the day, we get one shot at this. And so we all know we get one shot at this, we might as well leave it all on the court, man, like Kobe did. You bring Kobe Bryant's name up in certain rooms, people just instantly get happy, because they know that the sacrifices that he took for the game of basketball is rare. And that's how you should treat your life, especially when you're talking about, I want to be a millionaire, and those are the things that's just not normal. You got to do the unnormal things to get that done. You got to make the sacrifices, so that's just my perspective on that, on this topic. And yeah, man, it's cool to be impatient on your goals. It's cool to sacrifice. It's cool to maybe not have a social life for X amount of time.
Patience happens, but you have to have impatience. Like, you want to get there tomorrow. And that's how you improve faster than everybody else. You got to be like, no, I want to get better now. I'm going to be the best now. Get to where you want to go, man. Just sitting back, just waiting ain't going to do it.